Okay. For number one, a beaker of water is heated and thermal energy travels through the water by convection. What happens to the density of water when it is heated, and how does the water move?
Um, it's B.
Yeah, the density decreases and the heated water moves upwards, yeah? Yeah, that's correct. It's B. The next the diagram shows the electricity cables being put up on a warm day. The cables are suspended between the supporting pylons as shown. What are the cables not tightened to make? Why are the cables not tightened to make them higher above the ground? Is it contract on cold days or
Um,
A, B, C, or D?
B.
If you choose B, they will contract on very warm days. But the contraction is only happen when the temperature is down or low. Lower temperature will cause contraction. So is it which one? So we choose the situation where the temperature is low or lower temperature.
D.
D is higher temperature. Higher temperature. This is higher temperature, right? Because warm. So the option is A or C. Which one? This is not because this is the temperature is rises. So this is not. A or C? What do you think?
A.
Yeah, the answer is A. For number 3, in which situation is radiation the main method by which energy is transferred? The main method, heating a pan, energy reaching the earth from the sun, heating the air in a room, or gravitational potential energy to a glider when lifted by thermal currents. Radiation. The radiation is the transfer of energy without medium, without any substance. It can travel through solid, liquid, and gas. So which one is that? And the keyword is main.
B.
Yeah, when the energy reaching the earth from the sun. So we know that the light travels in vacuum. So it is kind of radiation. So the answer is B. How about number 4? A student stirs a hot liquid in a pan with a spoon. Which rows explain which material the spoon should be made from so that the students doesn't burn their hand? Is it A, B, C, or D? Does not burn their hand. So this is the insulator. Yeah. We should choose the insulator for the material. Mhm.
D.
Yep, that's right. D should be made of wood because wood is a good insulator. Number 5. The thermal radiation is emitted from all objects. Which mediums can thermal radiation travel through? Is it in glass, water, air, vacuum, or maybe one of them not, or all of them is? Which one? Is the radiation can travel through glass? Is the radiation can travel to water, air, or vacuum? Remember that radiation is light, or why you say that radiation cannot travel through the vacuum? If B is like that, right? But the radiation can travel through the vacuum. Light, light can travel through vacuum. So can you change your answer maybe? A, C, or D?
A.
Yeah, A. Because radiation can travel through all the matter like liquid, solid, gas, and also vacuum. They can travel through all the material. That is the characteristic of the radiation, thermal radiation. An example of thermal radiation is electromagnetic wave or light. Next one. A bimetallic strip is used to control the temperature of an electric appliance. It is made of two different metals fixed together. Diagram shows the shape of the bimetallic strip before and after heating. So this is the before heating, straight, yeah. But after heating, it becomes like this, bend. Which statement is correct? What do you think? A, B, C, or D?
I don't know. D.
The characteristic of the bimetallic is that the one that is part, in the outer part, this one has the um, most expand coefficient, which means that the more expands is the bimetallic P. So metal P expands more than metal Q on heating. So this one has higher expand. This one is smaller expand. So if the curve is like this, so the down part has smaller expansion and the upper part has the higher expansion. That is the characteristic of the bimetallic. So the answer is C. Okay, Chanel?
Yeah.
Okay, now go to number 7. The diagram shows the view of a room heated by a radiator. The arrow line from X to Y is the path of the convection current in the air. Which row about the air temperature and the air density at X and at Y is correct? Air temperature at X, is it higher? Higher at X or which one? Higher at Y? This is radiator. We know that radiator will produce heat, right? Of course, in this part, heat will be more than another part. So what do you answer? Oh,
Wait.
mm, wait.
B.
B. Yep, it's B. That's correct. The density Sy is drop. Yeah, it's more higher at Y. The density. At here, let's say this one is Z. How about the density at Z? The density at Z is smaller. This is smallest density at Z and highest density at Y. Okay, we go to number 8. Think a bit similar to number 7. A room is heated by a radiator. The diagrams X and Y shows the two possible circulations of hot air which heat the room. Which diagram and reason explain the heating of the room by convection? This is talking about density. You know that the arrow is different here. The arrow is this is clockwise, but the arrow of this is anti-clockwise. Which diagram is correct? What do you think?
It's X.
Yes, that's correct. It acts. So you're right.
A.
Yeah, very good. A. Air density decreases when air is heated. Yeah, when heated, the density will decrease. When cooled, the density will be increased. So the density will decrease when the temperature is higher. and the density will increase if the temperature is lower. But number 9, which surface is the worst absorber of infrared radiation? The worst. It does not allow light or heat goes or pass through that surface. Yeah, what surface is that? Dull black or white? Yes, shiny white. Yep, very good. Shiny white is the worst absorber because all of the light that comes to it will be reflected, goes there. This is shiny white. But not shiny black, yeah? Only shiny white. Because white reflector is does not absorber, it's reflector. So that's why we call it worst absorber. The next one. A teacher puts some cold water in a test tube. She holds the bottom of the test tube while heating the top. So this test tube, cold water, boiling water, and heat. The water at the top boils, but she continues to hold the test tube as the bottom remains cold. Which conclusion about water is made from this experiment? Is it a bad conductor, bad convector, or which one? Water? It prevent it prevents the heat to transfer. Even though this is a boiling water, but this is still cold water. That is the proof that the water is a good conductor or a bad conductor. Which one? Mhm. If water is a good conductor, so that this hand will hot water, right? But this one is cold water. So, yeah, this is the proof that the water is a bad conductor. Very good. And number 11. The four thermometers with their bulbs painted different colors are placed at equal distances from a radiant heater. Which thermometer shows the slowest temperature rise when the heater is first switched on? This is related to the question before. Slowest temperature, meaning that it does not allow heat to transfer to it or to receive heat. Does not allow to receive heat. Worst absorber, meaning that this one is worst absorber.
D.
D, yeah, shiny white is the worst absorber. Number 12. Which method of transfer of thermal energy is caused by the changes in density? Changes in density. Conduction, convection, evaporation, or radiation? Remember the convection current that we discussed just now? Yeah, the radiator and then going like this, circulation. This is radiator. And here the density is high. At here density is low. And we call it the convection. Yep, so the answer is
B.
yeah, correct. It's B, convection. Convection current. So this is called the convection current. Convection only happen in gas like air, gas, or liquid. Let's say water. But the convection cannot happen in solid. Cannot happen in solid. Convection only happen in gas and water. Okay. For number 13, particles can move transferring thermal energy as shown. This is the heater, and then goes like that, anti-clockwise. In which state of matter does this movement occur? A, B, C, or D? Remember, one is convection, which is called convection. And convection only happen in where just now?
A.
Yeah, very good. In gas and in liquid. In gas like air, in liquid like water. Number 14. The diagram shows a convection current caused by a piece of ice placed in a beaker of water at room temperature. Which row correctly compares the temperatures and densities at water points P and Q? The temperature at P is how compared to Q? Lower or higher? At here. Temperature slower or higher? And the density, yeah,
B,
B. If you choose B, you say that the density at P is lower the density than the density at Q. Why? Of course, the density at Q is lower. Can you change your answer maybe? That is not B. The density at P, of course, is higher the density than the density of Q, right? Because this is in the upper part. This is at the bottom. When at the bottom, the density is higher. When at the surface, the density is smaller. Yeah, what do you think the answer? A, A, C, or D? This is called density, yeah? Density. Or we read it rho. Rho P is larger than rho Q.
wait,
Okay.
C,
Yeah, that's very good. That's correct. It's C. It has to be lower than Q, the temperature. So this means that cooler. Okay. The next one. The outside of one of two identical shiny metal containers is painted dull black. The containers are filled with equal masses of hot water at the same temperature. Why does the dull black container cool more quickly? Is it A, B, C, or D? It's related to the absorption and emission of heat or radiation. The one that emit the radiation will cause the temperature becomes lower. Which one? So this keyword is dull black. Yeah, what's the characteristic of dull black? Good emitter. And also good absorber. Good emitter will cause lower temperature. Yeah, what's your answer?
B.
Yeah, very good. The answer is B. Black surfaces are better emitters of radiation than shiny surfaces because it is good emitter so that the heat will be transferred to surrounding so that it cool more quickly because the heat is transferred to the surrounding by convection. By convection. Okay, next, number 16. The diagram shows solar water panels on the roof of a house. The panels absorb energy from the sun to heat up the water in the metal pipes. So this is in the metal pipes. Which row describe how energy is transferred from the sun and through the metal of the pipes? From the sun. Yeah, from the sun, what is that? Radiation or convection or conduction. And through the pipes, is it conduction or convection? Sun?
C.
Yeah, C. Sun is radiation. Heat through the metal pipes is conduction. The transfer of heat without the movement of the particles, that is conduction. The transfer of heat without the medium, that is radiation. With or without, with the medium can, without the medium is also can, so that is the radiation. So the right answer is C. Next one, number 17. The four beakers containing equal volumes of water at 10 degrees Celsius are placed outside in full sunshine on a day. The four beakers are identical except for the surface, color, and texture. Which beaker will heat up the quickest? The quickest. has to emit the radiation. Good emitters. Which one is the good emitters?
A.
Yeah, very good. A. Very good. Next emitter. Number 18. The diagram shows a pan used for cooking food. Which row is correct for the materials used to make the base and the handle of the pan? B, A, C or D? Base of pan. Is it good thermal conductor or poor thermal conductor? The base. Yeah, this is the base. The below part. Handle. So should make
B.
the yeah the B. Yeah? Good thermal conductor is the base of fan. There should be conductor because they want to heat up the food, but without the conductor the food will not cook. And for the handle has to be the poor thermal conductor. Number 19. In which substances is convection emitted for thermal energy transfer? A, B, C or D? Convection only happen in what material? Solid, liquid and gas. Choose maybe two of them.
A.
Yeah, air and water only. Very good. Next one, in which situation is radiation the main method by which energy is transferred? I think it's already answered, right? Did you still remember the answer?
B.
D, D or B?
B.
Yeah, very good. It's B. Now we go to number 21. It's longer. Students carry out different experiments to compare the abilities of different metals to conduct thermal energy. In experiment 1, the bar is heated for 1 minute and the length of wax strip that melts is measured. In experiment 2, the bar is heated and the time taken for the pin to drop off is measured. What happens to each of these measurements when a better conductor of thermal energy is tested? So the experiment is want to know which one is melted first. Does the length of the melted wax strip becomes increase or decrease when heated? Or the time taken for the pin to drop, does it decrease or increase?
I don't know.
We know that the wax, when it is heated, the wax will melt, right? This is the wax. This is wax. When the heat transfer to this, like this, it's going also to that direction. So that, yeah, we know that the first melt is here. The first melt is here, and then goes to there. The melt will goes to there. The melt is goes to there. The melt is goes to there. So that the conclusion is that the length of the melted wax strip is increasing, right? From the small goes to that, goes to that, goes to that, goes to that. So increases, yeah, the increases. The length of the melted wax strip increases. Now we go to the experiment 2. How about the pin when it got heated? Goes there, goes there, goes there. The heat transfer. And yeah, when it's a good conductor, a better conductor, so the pin will decreases. I mean the time taken for the pin to drop is decreases, right? Not increases because it's a better conductor. Better conductor will cause the heat travels faster. The heat will travel faster in a good conductor, in a better conductor. So the answer is decreases, which means that C. Okay, Shana?
Yep.
Okay. Number 22. The table gives some examples of convection and explanation of why the convection occurs. Which row is correct? Is it A, B, C, or D? Air conditioner, convection oven, hot air balloon, land and sea breezes. Which one is makes sense for the explanation?
Mm-hmm.
For the AC,
C.
C, yeah, the hot air balloon, that's right. This is makes sense, right? When the balloon becomes less dense, yeah, the balloon will rise because the density is is less, right? Less dense makes the balloon becomes rises because the density of the air inside the balloon is lower the density of the air outside the balloon. So that, yeah, it will rise. The answer is C. 23. The diagram shows a pan of water being heated. After a short time, all the water in the pan begins to boil. What is the main process by which thermal energy is transferred to the water? A, B, C, or D?
D.
Yeah, very good. It's convection. Number 24. The diagram shows four rods. Yeah, different material. There is brass, silver, copper, and iron. Each rod is made of different metal. With wax is used to attach small metal balls at the rod. P, Q, and R. Yes. Each rod is the same size. They are heated uniformly by a Bunsen burner at point X. As the rods warm up, the wax melts and the balls falls off. Why does the ball on the silver rod falls first? Why? Do you know why? Of course, the answer is the one that very good in conductor or in transfer the heat.
B.
B. Why you choose B? Why you say silver is the worst conductor? While silver, the rod fall first. The ball on the silver rod fall first, meaning that, yeah, the heat is transferred too quick or too fast in silver so that the ball falling. Is it the worst conductor when the balls falls quickly or the best conductor? Which one is correct? If you can change your answer, it's not B.
Um,
On silver, the heat very fast, fastest, makes the ball that stick on it becomes falling because of heat. This is the wax. Yeah, this is the proof that silver is the best conductor or the worst conductor of heat. Does the silver is the best conductor? Yeah, what do you think the answer?
I don't know. A.
Yeah, it's A. It's the silver is the best conductor. 25. Thermal energy is supplied at the same rate to 4 bars made from different materials. After several minutes, there is temperature difference between X and Y for each bar. Which statement identifies the bar with the greatest temperature between point X and Y and gives the correct reason? Yeah, what do you want to make between them so that there will be a big difference of temperature between X and Y? What you should put between this here? Is it plastic? Is it wood? Is it what else? Lead? Which one? And the result should be greatest temperature difference or even copper. You should prevent the heat flowing. Heat flowing should be prevented to make the difference becomes higher or greatest difference of temperature. So this should be insulator, right? Insulator. Mhm. You should find insulator from option A, B, C, and D. Which one is insulator? Is copper insulator? Is lead insulator? Is plastic insulator? Or wood insulator? And which one? Insulator means that the material that does not allow heat to transfer. You get the answer?
A.
Hmm. When you choose copper is a good conductor, which means that there will not be a greatest temperature difference, right? Because the heat easily transfer from X to Y. So let's say that the temperature at X is let's say that 200 degrees Celsius. So if you choose copper, this temperature at Y will be the same. So the difference will be zero. So copper is not the answer. Can you choose maybe B, C, or D? Which one? You should find the insulator, not conductor. Copper is conductor. And the answer is
Wait.
okay.
C.
Yeah, it's C. Should be plastic, yeah? Because plastic is insulator. When insulator, this is like 200 degrees Celsius. When it is insulator, so maybe at Y is like 20 degrees Celsius. Because the heat does not flow. Because it is made of plastic. That's why the handle of the pan is made of insulator, made of plastic, to prevent the heat transfer. 26. The diagram shows 4 blocks of steel. The blocks are all drawn to the same scale. The same quantity of thermal energy is given to each block. Which block shows the greatest rise in temperature? A, B, C, or D? This is related to the size, yeah? The smaller size will cause the rise in temperature, the most rise in temperature. Which one is the smallest? A, B, C, or D?
Oh yeah, search. It's time. I think it's A.
Yeah, the answer is A. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, Chanel. Thank you. Good night.
Yes.